And they're off. Both of them remembering to hold down here at the start of the match. No 15.2-second losses. That's always a good start.
Agreed.
On an ivory statue right off the bat. That's going to provide them with the ability to make a check on Barokahana when they get the change spell, as well as be able to change Kensu back from a slime at the back of Goa once they get full, or if they have to go through the front door.
I also want to point out they both got little girl skip.
They did. And they also grabbed a Sword of Water here. So Sword of Water is a very common start in these flag sets here because it does open you an extra check right off the bat. So it does open the logic up a little bit. And it will get them an extra item from Rage. I noticed Nightdew got a puddle there. That's a terrible spawn. Luckily he didn't run into it. Sylverfyre was fast enough that they didn't get it. Wow. And a ball of water.
Well then, that opens up 2 more checks up in Portoa now.
Absolutely. So, what the reason that opens up 2 extra checks is because the Queen of Portoa herself, normally, who is also the Wise Menacina, she'll give you an item if you talk to her by visiting the waterway, but if you've triggered that cutscene from Messia there behind the lime tree, she'll move to the back of the waterway and will also open the dolphin as well, so that will provide them with 2 extra checks. Cheap medical herb. That is nice.
Nightdew finding a little bit of money there. He did buy a pair of warp boots back in Leaf, and Syl, I didn't catch what Syl bought, but it was something very cheap.
Yeah, Syl luckily did not have the issue of not being able to afford that medical herb. They did buy a couple of items right off the bat. Nightdew, on the other hand, had to go back out and farm, which feels really bad.
Bow of Sun and Bow of Truth on... Holy crap.
What is this? Is this a repeat of the last seed? The race that was just on had the Bow of Truth at the Angry Seed.
No, they got 2 bows.
Yeah, I know. They got 1 bow, and the other one's at the Angry Sea at the
Yeah, this time it was just literally Asina had 2 of them.
Oh, I thought you were... Oh, I see. Oh, Nightdew, did you forget? Nope, he didn't.
Yeah, the queen's item was Bow of Sun. It was Bow of Truth, and then Asina's item, one way or another. It was basically 1 bow and then the other. So we're at 2 bows already for both players.
What I didn't happen to catch on either one of them because they mashed through the text so fast was what the actual item in the whirlpools.
Demarine is saying it was the Storm Bracelet at the Angry Sea.
Ooh, that would be nice. Little girl there just bodying Nightdew a couple of times. You shall not pass today, sir.
And then the Dolphin coughed up the Windmill Key, so both of them are going to be heading here. There's 3. They got 1 check when they explode the wall, and then there's 3 checks inside that are accessible without Sword of Wind. They don't really have any other options at the moment, though, unfortunately, so they basically have to go this way.
Let's hope that their Windmill Cave is not as brutal as the last one, where there were warlocks all over the stage. Nightdew, not remembering that you can Wild Warp there and save yourself a slight amount of time right after opening the windmill.
He might want to kill a few things, to be honest.
His levels are looking pretty tough right now.
Oh, still getting paralyzed by that green serpent just inside the first cave here.
Yeah, not much of a time loss, though, because it was right inside the door. Now, fortunately, they both remember to make the checkpoint here at the cave entrance, so that will save them both time, which is nice, if they happen to have any more resets here. Oh, like that. Ooh, Syl, are you going for it? They are going for it.
Well, I mean, they don't actually need the charge shots in here, because they don't have Sword of Wind yet, though Syl's gonna really be a little disgusted if they find the Sword of Wind in here.
Yeah, absolutely. Nightdew, on the other hand, taking the death, having the reset, and off. Oh, and then an immediate paralysis. Smooth move by the Wyvern.
Although, now that... Oh, barrier. Oh, Syl gets poisoned to get rid... Oh, that's what they bought at the beginning. They bought an antidote, so now they're able to use that antidote to get rid of the poison, which just got rid of their paralysis.
Definitely. Now, here's the other thing. Those Medusas in that hallway there were great farm material. That lets Syl get some nice extra experience there. They are in the tier of monsters that provide the highest amount of experience, so regardless of what your scaling is, they are always lucrative kills. Ooh, Nightdew, please!
The other thing Syl could have done, though, is actually gotten petrified. That would have also gotten rid of the paralysis. It just would have been a little bit on the dangerous side, because they may not have been able to become unpetrified before the Medusas decided, hey, your lunch.
Well, with a nice timing of stabbing the sword, you can actually plan on having your sword straight out in front of you, and the Medusa will stupidly walk into your sword over and over, as we're going to see Nightdew. Nope, the Medusa thought better. Is that a sword pointing out there? I will pass.
See, this is where I expect to see the Medusa just go around the side and start walking into him from there, and just take him out.
It wouldn't be the first time.
So the progression they found in here was the alarm flute, which means they both have to go talk to Zebu and then go back into the windmill cave to talk to the apprentice.
Yeah, that alarm flute's also going to give them an extra check when they find a pair of eyeglasses. Now, in the case of Syl here, going to check out where it is, it's going to be guaranteed, I think, at this, because I haven't seen a ball of wind yet, so this is almost guaranteed to be flight at this point.
Well, we have ball of wind, we just don't have sword of wind.
Oh, never mind. Sword and ball of wind on the Syl side.
Well, looks like this was a forced double dip of the vampire cave.
That's, it also, since they have the Sword of Water and the Ball of Water, that also has opened up all of Portoa, with the exception of the Waterfall Cave. But both Fog Lamp and Carissa Plant caves are open, and that's going to give them a lot of extra checks.
Yeah, this might be the point where we see some divergence in the routes. We could see Syl go off to Fog Lamp Cave again to just complete it. Oh, no, actually, it looks like Syl's heading over towards Portoa. But we might see Nightdew go straight back into the Vampire Cave.
Yeah, kind of hard to say. Now, Vampire Cave is going to have 3 checks. If you go over to the Portoa side, there are 2 checks in the Carissa Plant Cave, and then there are 4 in the Fog Lamp Cave. So it would make sense to go hit both of them.
However, going through Vampire Cave does open up Bryn Mawr, which is another check, which is actually 2 more checks immediately, because they can get the one in the basement in Amazones plus the grass chest. So that's actually 5 checks if they go that way.
Syl setting a checkpoint here at the Carissa Plant entrance. Now, if they decided to make a save there, and both of the items here were garbage, they could actually reload their save. The Carissa Plant Cave actually sets a checkpoint in the meadow, so if the meadow item is hot garbage, you still have to walk back out of the cave if you're not going to Wild Warp, so it is beneficial to do that. I don't see a lot of runners do it.
For Carissa Plant Cave, though, it's not that much slower to just go from Leaf. And realistically, actually, no, Syl did not pick up the warp boots. They could have just warped to Portoa afterwards as well and gone to Fogland from there.
Well, Syl does have a pair of warp boots, as I see here, so...
Okay, so they could use that to get out. It does look like Nightdew decided to go back into Vampire Cave, so we do have route divergence at the 8-minute mark.
Oh ho! Coming across a Psycho Armor. Now that's a nice find. Nobody picks up a Psycho Armor and goes, eh. So happy to find that, definitely. So now we get to see what else is in here.
Meanwhile, Syl is experiencing puddles and skeletons and all kinds of things you don't want to see in this
Mimic?
game.
Nightdew finding a Mimic and getting bodied by a Medusa on the way out the door. Hi! Statue of Onyx in the meadow. Look at that.
Well, that's progression, potentially, but that means Syl is probably pretty likely going to head through Vampire Cave now.
Yeah, now, because with that Statue of Onyx, that's going to provide them with a 3rd check there for Makahana as soon as they get inside of Bryn Mawr. So Bryn Mawr and Cordell Plains are now a 3-check location. And that looks like exactly where Syl's heading at the moment. And Nightdew finding a Sword of Fire.
Oh, that's nice. It's not progression just yet, but it's nice.
Yeah, now, what could happen here, we could see, is Nightdew rolling out here onto the plains and finding no ball, which means he's going to have to go all the way back, and they're both going to have to hit Fog Lamp before they can make any additional progress here. So this could be kind of a troll move on the game's part. We'll see.
Antidote there, and he's gonna go down and I believe he's gonna act. Yeah, he's gonna grab the warp point over here at Bryn Mawr and then probably head straight for Amazones.
I like it. Look at those cheap warp boots. I'll buy 10. Never mind that I only have 8 slots. I'll put 2 on my feet. Let's go.
I'm just gonna throw them in the key item slots.
Even better. They become infinite reuse when they're in there. That was a fun glitch that happened earlier on, where you would sometimes end up with an item from your consumable inventory in the key item row, and because there was no routine that told those particular items to be consumed on use, they would be endlessly used. So a Fruit of Power, or a Magic Ring, Medical Herb, Warp Boots, things like that, if they accidentally showed up there, you were happy.
Well, Fruit of Lime less so.
That doesn't exist. Let's not talk about that.
Speaking of fruits, though, Nightdew found a Fruit of Repin in the basement, which means no progression on that side right now. That statue of Onyx that Syl has might very well be the key here.
Yeah, well, you know, either that or it's going to be back in that Fog Lamp cave.
Looks like Nightdew's gonna be picking Carissa Plant Cave next, though, so he'll be getting a Statue of Onyx as well. Oh, Nightdew getting poisoned.
He's got
right at the beginning of the cave.
Yeah, but he's got the Psycho Armor. It's not going to be the end of his life. He can just stand still and get his health back. The Psycho Armor actually regenerates your health faster than the Poison Ticks, so it's not the end of life. I mean, we see Syl over here using the Psycho Armor right now in just that fashion.
The difference is Nightdew's HP is going to increase twice as slow, and it does take a little while to like counteract poison that way, and you have to stand still for it.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Nope. The eyeball thought better. You know, ever since I saw Tornell get mummied and then, you know, dominated, every time I see somebody get petrified, I hope that monster just bodies him. It's a selfish want on my part.
Although, to be honest, that petrification helped Nightdew because it got rid of his poison.
Yeah, it wasn't all bad.
So Syl is now out in Cordell Plains. He's going to turn in that Onyx statue. We're going to see if this is actually the progression here.
Nope.
Fog Lamp, that might be part of the progression.
Gotta find a Shell Flute.
We could see Fog Lamp plus Shell Flute coming into play.
Nightdew going back, turning in his Onyx statue, and going, crap, I have to go back to Fog Lamp. We should change the name to Frog Lamp, and every time somebody picks it up, go ribbit.
Ribbit.
And anybody that's played Final Fantasy XIV, you would probably know what I'm referring to.
So Syl gonna go grab their Fruit of Repin from the Aurelius' basement. Oh, gonna hit the inn first. Not a bad play. They were pretty low on HP.
Yeah, definitely. They were really low on HP. There's not a lot to spend the MP on at this point, but it's, you know, never a bad idea to refill your HP. Especially when you can do it, and they had a ton of money. So why not?
They do have barrier, too.
Yeah, I mean, they're sitting on $1,000. Syl buying a pair of super expensive warp boots there. Hey, Syl, 15 feet up and left, there's way cheaper ones. You should check that shop. It'll help you.
I don't think they checked it just yet.
Nah, I don't think so either. Nightdew, meanwhile, getting acquainted with the Medusas They are hugging like crazy.
I did not see what he picked up in that chest in the north end of this first room.
You know, I happened to be staring over at Syl's side at the same point when he picked that up, so I didn't see it either. Maybe somebody in chat. Demarine, what was it? And that's a consumable. You know, I see a lot of people throw away fruit of weapons when you have things like lysis plants. I'd rather sell a fruit of weapon, especially early on. It's worth cash. But you know what? Syl's making their way in right now. We're gonna get a good opportunity, you know, to see what it was this time. Ball fire!
Ooh, well that is progression.
Yeah, that'll open up Mount Saber South in the Waterfall Cave. It was a lysis plant. That was the item we missed. No one cares. Moving on.
Looks like Nightdew is going to make the full dive through this cave, too. Even though this is a pretty long walk for just one check.
You know, I don't blame him at this point. It could be Flight. It could be a Shell Flute. It could be Sword of Thunder. Or it could be the bow that they're missing, and then they just got to figure out how to get across the ocean. So I don't mind the
lovely fruit of lime.
It could be. And this flail guy does not care about your Sword of Fire, Nightdew.
Looks like he's using wind.
Syl taking the death. That's going to hurt a little bit. Fog Lamp is a bad cave to take a death in. It's long, and if you die in the middle of it, you got to run all the way back through it. And that sucks.
It's even worse when it's filled with flail guys and these paralyzing spiders.
He tried so hard to outrun that, but nope. And then it immediately comes back on screen and fires another shot at him.
Nightleague has that lysis plant from earlier in the cave. I guess the cave was just telling him, hey, you're gonna need this.
You know, I mentioned nobody cares. At this point, both of the runners care about that lysis plant. Let's not kid ourselves here.
Well, Nightdew cares. Syl will soon know that they care.
Syl giving lots of kisses with that Medusa.
They don't want those kisses.
No.
Medusas are very bad kissers.
They are very unhappy with those kisses. Medusa kisses, worst kisses. Alright, Bert! Hi, Bert! How's it going?
Bert is not an enemy you want to see in this hallway.
Now, fortunately, they got barriers, so Bert and his brother Bert hanging out in the hallway, very non-threatening.
Those flowers, though, a lot of people, like, they only take one hit to kill, and they don't... Oh, no!
Man, that's gonna hurt Syl. That one right there is gonna... Now, the only way that's not going to hurt is if heading into the Waterfall Cave here or heading onto Saber South, they're able to find Flight. Otherwise, that Shell Flute at the back of Fog Lamp could prove to be a huge difference maker because it could be another 10 or 12 minutes before Syl decides to redive Fog Lamp once they run out of check.
I mean, I don't blame Syl for warping out, given that you have Waterfall Cave and Mount Saber South to do at this point. That's a lot of checks that are, I'd say, a little bit faster than doing the rest of Fog Lamp. But at the same time, we don't know. It could be this could be the play that puts Nightdew massively in the lead.
Yeah, heading on to Evil Spirit Island is what he's going to do next. That is a huge dungeon with a ton of checks. And for somebody of Nightdew's caliber, that shouldn't be a problem to go there and even take down Sabera with a ball of fire. Sabera 1, the scaling is low enough, and she's not exactly threatening with the barrier spell. So I would completely agree with this play here, going straight into it. It's going to equip that Iron Necklace. It's going to double his defense at this point. So right now he's sitting on about 30 defense. So physical hits are probably going to tank in most cases.
Needs to activate Joel first. Now, if we could find some eyeglasses, they'd have an extra check from that alarm flute, and Nightdew talking to the Elder doesn't realize it's just literally activate the warp point. Now, if this were Crystalis for the Game Boy Color, you do have to talk to the Elder, so he's got it right for one game.
Yeah, well, thankfully it's not, because that game sucks.
It's mediocre and has some of the worst music I've ever seen. Or heard.
You saw the music?
Oh, I did see music. The notes were literally on screen. They were that bad.
Yeah, God, that's painful. So, making the Evil Spirit Island play here, we're going to get to see whether or not this is going to be the difference maker, or if, you know, Evil Spirit Island is a bust. There's a lot of checks here, but there's a lot of checks still open on the Cordell Plains side. So this will be kind of interesting since there's such a big divergence.
I did miss what Syl got on the west side of the Waterfall Cave.
I didn't catch it either. I was busy checking out Nightdew there for a moment. You know, this game moves so quickly that if you take your eyes off one of the players for even a minute, or even a moment, that's what could be the difference of, you know, catching an item or not.
Insect Flute in Waterfall Cave, not helpful right now. I mean, technically, if they really wanted to live dangerously, they could hell run it, but that probably wouldn't be terribly smart at this level.
Telepathy in the first chest in Evil Spirit Island. That is not a bad find.
Well, that's the other half of the hell run there.
Yeah, definitely.
Mind you, hell runs are not in logic. They do not actually have to run through the swamp without gas mask. The logic will always guarantee they're going to have it before going in there, but it is possible to do it out of logic if they really want to.
Yeah. It does open up one extra check, making a hell run by itself. If you have telepathy, you can hell run a second time and get 2 more, but you're not going to see very many runners do it. It usually doesn't pay off, and it takes a ton of resources. Getting our first glance here on Mount Saber South. Gonna get to see what it's hiding for us today. Nightdew, meanwhile, heading into the double chest here at the waterway.
Please be double mimic. Please be double mimic.
I'd buy that for $1.
Nightdew having a little bit of issues with this eyeball here.
Well, okay. Out on the ledge in Mount Saber South, Syl picks up teleport. So that's the other half of the puzzle for Mount Saber North. So combining the two areas, they technically have Saber North access. Double consumable.
Okay, I see what
license plant. Yes.
I see what Nightdew was actually doing there. Nightdew was actually trying to get rid of that poison. He was waiting for the eyeball to petrify him.
Yeah, it played out exactly as he was hoping, but he's rewarded with a double license plant for his troubles.
Meanwhile, Syl finding the Orb of Fire in the second cave, or not Orb of Fire, Orb of Thunder here in the second cave, which isn't helpful right now, but will eventually allow them to break steel walls once they find the Sword of Thunder and get teleported somewhere they probably don't want to be right now.
Yeah, and considering that we know that the Storm Bracelet is going to be on the ocean, they know where to be able to get that Storm Bracelet when they can get the glowing lamp and the broken...
Last chest in Evil Spirit Island was just a pair of warp boots, which I'm sure Nightdew's happy to see, given that they do not have teleport. But now we have... Do they want to go after this really out-of-the-way one check? I mean...
I don't blame them. I will make that check 100% of the time.
Too.
Now, here's the thing. Nightdew has taken care of Evil Consumable Island, you know, in kind of a slow fashion. You know, if this place doesn't pay off too well, there's a lot of time he spent here for a whole lot of nothing.
The thing is, though, when Syl finally finds that shell flute, I can almost see them coming out here anyway. And at the summit of Mount Saber South, they find the Nightdew.
Oh no! Look at that! It's the play. That's go mode.
No flight.
Oh, no flight. You're right. Oh, man, I was going to say, that was the play. I couldn't believe it. But it still might be the play, because flight could be literally anywhere at this point.
That is ridiculous. 3 bows at 25 minutes.
Wow. That is something.
Looks like Syl is going to make the play back to Foglamp Caves. I think they have run out of checks, so that shell flute was the correct move.
Nightdew making a quick dip into the cave here for Waterfall Cave. I'm not sure why he didn't hit Hydra.
Yeah, there's one very quick check on Hydra, and he could have actually done everything except the summit chest with since he has ways to break rock wall.
Right. I guess he figured, you know what, if I head back over there, I can finish clearing out that area, and we can call this side, done.
Not gonna find much in here, though.
It does suck, however, that he's got to go all the way back to Evil Spirit Island for the last 5 checks. 5? 4. 4 checks.
Vampire, Sabera, that other item, and then
Clark. Yeah. So, that's a long trek, because he's got to go all the way back to Evil Spirit Island. And Evil Spirit Island was a less than stellar area. It slowed him down a ton.
It wouldn't be bad if we were on latest instead of a slightly older build for the slightly older stable build, because there is actually we've added a warp point to Zombie Town, which
that is
saves
correct.
A lot. Actually, you have to double dip. You end up having to double dip the island fortress.
You'll notice Nightdew's not taking any damage here from running his face into everything. That's because he's got that iron necklace on, so his defense value is, currently it is 42 defense he has at the moment. So what's happening here is that he's getting 3 defense per level from his Psycho Armor all the way up to 21 defense, which is at level 7. And then on top of that, the iron necklace is doubling it. So pretty much nothing is going to damage him.
Meanwhile, Syl is actually putting that paralysis spell to good use. Stopped a bunch of the ninjas in the previous room, is using it to get by these Burts here.
Did take a couple of shurikens to the face, but it's not going to stop them as they head their way in and grab their shell flute and kick themselves for leaving early.
I would have made the same play.
Yeah, I know you would.
I'd be in the same boat. I'd be way behind right now.
And you would leave the silver arrows in 7 as well.
No, that's Saber.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was the bow in your case.
No. Whenever I go into 7, it just has Lord Banana.
Okay. Still, you would have left it there. Foglamp is one of those caves that the very last chest is so much further back than everything else. Hey, that looked like a Stom face on that coin. I don't know how you got in that chest, Stom, but would you kindly go back to Shiren? You don't need to be in a chest. Either that or they're minting coins now in Stom's likeness. I might have to get one of those.
Well, that last check that we missed in Waterfall Cave was just a mimic, so...
Whap, whap. So Syl also going to talk to the Elder. They also are unfamiliar with the fact that you just need to activate the warp point. I guess we get to teach him something here today when the run is over during the post-race commentary.
First pick Hydra Blizzard Bracelet. That actually puts Mado 1 in Logic.
Indeed it does. Not that they care about that, because nobody wants to go fight Mado if they don't have to.
Mado 1 is not that bad. Let's be real here.
I mean, at this scaling value, I don't care which Mado it is. I got a Blizzard Bracelet. They're both going to drop pretty fast. I mean,
it's a relatively quick check. You just go it's just a quick run to Goa. Actually, no, I don't think Nightdew's been to Goa yet.
He has not. And that means he won't be tripping over Stom's corpse on the way to Mado anytime soon. These mummies are hungry. They're playing excellent defense there. tore the brains. Good reward. I love it.
I lost count how many mimics we found, but I think it's 3.
I think we're at yes on how many mimics we found at this point. Nightdew ditching that poison by taking an intentional paralysis and then curing it.
Well, I mean, if you have the Lysis plant...
Yeah, why not?
Looks like Syl got a little turned around in Evil Spirit Island. Ended up going to the left instead of over to the right. But they're making their way to the right area now.
Yeah. Warrior Ring, look at that! Oh man, all the experience is gonna fly.
That is a really... That's an item that it's useful regardless of when you find it, but it's much better if you find it super early.
I mean... Right, it's good no matter when you find it, but at this point, realistically, they're happy to find that no matter when you get your hands on it. Now, unfortunately, there's a ton of enemies here on this Hydra that are not vulnerable to his most powerful sword there, which is that Sword of Water. So, not getting a lot of mileage out of that at the moment.
Last check up here, just a medical herb. Alright, so we got a blizzard bracelet out of this, so that's not bad.
Absolutely not. Syl, getting the double Lysis plant check out of the way right now. Looks like Nightdew might finally be heading over to Goa. So interestingly, they have access to all of Oasis Cave except the island. They have access to Meta 1, and actually, they have access to all of Goa Fortress. Even though technically Kelbesk and Sabera 2 are not logic, with a Warrior Ring, I'll make the play. Let's go. I mean, it's good enough for logic for me. And here's the deal. Since progression at this point for them is on combat, and not on actual, progressionary abilities, Flight could be sitting at the back of Goa right now.
Very possible. Carmine could be the play.
Yeah, because realistically, the only thing Flight's going to open up for him at this point is the island check as well as the desert. So it's not really going to be considered a progressionary item at this point, which means it could basically be dumped anywhere. So this could be quite an interesting, position where this Flight's...
Syl also going to check that out of the way chest on Evil Spirit Island. Going to be both disappointed and glad at the same time.
And look at that. We have Oak access. And Nightdew is going to make the play. He's going to hit Oak. He has telepathy, so why not?
I can't say I blame him. He's got the insect flute as well. He can just clean the whole place up in one fell swoop, and that also gives him the check up at Stom's hut.
Yeah, so that's going to be a 4-item check here, and it's not exactly out of the way. And with the Warrior Ring, he's got enough health that he could quickly go and, switch on the Warrior Ring, blast the giant insect in the face, and then switch his gas mask back on and finish out the day like a hummy. Syl picking up their Sword of Thunder and Bow of Moon. As you mentioned, happy as can be to have...
Now here's the thing. Flight could be on Evil Spirit Island still.
I am doing a terrible job tracking, by the way, and my apologies. I'm very focused on the action and not paying attention to the tracking enough. Let's get caught up on that.
As far as I can see, you are one thing off in that you just need the Blizzard Bracelet on Nightdew.
Yeah, I think it's all good now.
Looks like Syl is going to make the play up Mount Hydra as well.
It's going to be some disappointment there. There's not much up there.
No, there is that Blizzard Bracelet. It does put one thing in logic.
Nightdew's going to opt to play it safe. Watch out for a Death Mosquito here, but he's got a barrier, so the most dangerous thing about Death Mosquito really doesn't.
Also doesn't have to do the tricky positioning to be able to hit the insect while it's shooting. He can just barrier through all that. And with level 2 fire shots, this fight is just, it's nothing.
Yeah, definitely.
And that item he found, not the most useful at this point, given that he has better accessories, but that would have been a great find like 20 minutes ago.
Well, I mean, yes and no, because they didn't really have much to spend that MP on. So, getting the, getting that is not, what wouldn't have really been that important. Now, here's the thing. Nightdew forgot to go and talk to Mom. So he was walking around looking for the kid who hasn't left home yet.
No, I'm pretty sure he did talk to her.
Nope, he just went back and did it right now.
No, I'm pretty sure I saw him talk to her the first time.
Oh, that's weird, because he walked down to the spot where the kid was, and the kid wasn't there.
I almost wonder if fighting the insect messed with that.
Could be. That's why I always go pick up the kid first and then go fight the insect. Just stick him in my pocket during the fight.
Yeah, you'll keep him safe.
And he's rewarded with an antidote for bringing the kid back home.
Well, I mean, the mother does know the swamp is poisonous. I'd keep some antidotes on hand as well.
Well, 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 look at that. Front door Goa is now in logic.
As is Tornell's item on Mount Saber South.
You know, Nightdew has yet to go there. So he's going to get his teleport spell, which is going to give him also Mount Saber North access. So he's going to be able to do all of that. And the rabbit hole grows.
I'm still really hoping that Flight is on Evil Spirit Island, because I have a feeling neither of them are going to go back there anytime soon.
Right. It would be beautiful. Also, it would also be beautiful if the Flight was in the chest across the river in Oasis. I've seen it before where they fully cleared Goa and then, freed Kensu and then warp out. Oops!
Yeah,
have to walk all the way back through Goa.
That's a pretty trolly check. It's very easy to miss too, because if normally if you're gonna pick up that chest, you're grabbing it with Flight from the back entrance.
Yeah, I was hanging out in a call one night with our illustrious creator, and he pulled that one. It was pretty fun. The whole time I kept taunting him about it too, but it turned out it wasn't actually where it was. It was just funny.
Oh, so we can't name that the Steve chest?
No, unfortunately we can't. Not yet, anyway. There's always time. Come on, Steve, make us proud. Gotta get a chest named after you. We got the Kaladan spot, we got the Axe chest, we got the Nightdew chest. All we need now is a Steve chest. We kind of have a cross chest, too.
Nightdew picking up his Orb of Thunder.
Yeah, I marked it off that he had it before. I guess not.
I'd forgotten it was even in this section. Oh!
Not much.
Is Syl gonna make the play in the Goa Fortress, or are they just activating... No, they are going in.
Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! I love it. This is a play I would have made absolutely myself, as I mentioned before. Having that warrior ring gives you the power to take on things that you wouldn't need, that you would normally need better equipment for. It gives you so much confidence because it makes you feel so safe. Paralysis, that was the other thing that was on Saber South.
Yeah, Syl has been making good use of that spell.
I'll tell you what, basically ever since the Sword of Wind was found, they have gone completely different directions. We have seen almost no, high-fiving or overlapping at this point. It's been quite a great race to try to follow. Lots of fun.
Looks like Nightdew might be making the same play here.
Kelbesk showing why he is the MVP of the NFL linebacker team. Syl's rewarded with a Fruit of Power and a free heal from Zebu.
Oh, no, Nightdew is not making the Goa play. Looks like he's going to go fight Storm real quick.
I don't blame him, because then when he warps out, he can actually run right over, since he has telepathy and teleport, and he can run right over and trigger the kidnapping, which will give him access to Mount Saber North. It's not a bad idea here. He's rewarded with an opal statue. Not a bad find. But he's not going to trigger the kidnapping.
Well, actually, I mean, triggering the kidnapping requires him to go all the way through Zebu's cave, and then come all the way back to Leaf to do it, and then he still has to run all the way to Mount Saber North. So, realistically, this isn't the worst idea.
Right, but he will have anywhere between 4 and 5 checks, depending on what he finds there.
So I think they both feel like Goa Fortress is the play right now. Given how many checks there are in here, I can't disagree with this.
No, it's not the worst play. Oh, but Nightdew deciding to go and, you know, check up with our old boy Mado. And let's see if he makes a quick trip over. Nope! Skips right around Stom. Doesn't even bother to check to see if he's okay.
He's just asleep. It's fine.
Yeah, I always like to make sure to check if he's okay. As long as I get some kind of a response from him, I know he's alright. And nothing.
Mado just holding on to a plant. Okay, so Syl found the flame bracelet in the waterway here, which actually puts Sabera in logic now.
Yeah, it does. And right before Sabera too, which is great.
You know what else is great? This mosquito that's not going away.
So Nightdew playing slightly from behind here. Should, you know, make just as quick work of everything. Now his scaling is a little bit higher, even though he's at the same level that Syl is right now. But that's going to definitely, you know, he should be able to crush this. He also has the bracelet or the tornado bracelet, which provides him with an extra 4 damage over what Syl was able to do. That'll help make up for the scaling differential.
Oh, that's true. Technically, Kelbesk was not in logic for Syl.
No. However, we do know that the tornado bracelet was available, so technically, you know, getting everything... Oh, there's the flight! It's time to go!
Oh my god!
Syl coming across that flight early, making the play before Nightdew, comes up with the flight, and now it's going to be up to Nightdew to find that chest quickly to have any shot at being able to catch up and take this one. You know, a 43-minute flight, Syl's got to be feeling pretty good right now.
Buying some medical herbs. Can't say I disagree with that idea, given they don't have Refresh. And they're not going to have Storm Bracelet for the tower either.
So, if I'm not mistaken, that flight was behind the iron wall on the left side, and Nightdew went to the right first. So,
yeah, he's making the same play that Syl made.
Gonna have to go all the way back to the right, or the left. Yeah, it's gonna cost. That could have been his chance to catch up a little bit.
I mean, there's still the tower. Like, this isn't completely over, but...
Granted,
the longer Nightdew spends trying to find that chest, the worse this is gonna look.
And also, too, you know, they're armed to the teeth. They have it. They have the warrior ring, and they've got a flame bracelet. They should have no problems just completely destroying the tower. Not to mention the warrior ring. Depending on what enemies there are on the way up there. Oh, Okay, Sil. I'm gonna go with you on this one. Looks like they're gonna check to see if they can either find a power ring, maybe that's what they're going for. I'm not really sure what this play is all about. Nightdew resetting out. He's gonna go make that last check. Either resetting back, or not. Oh, did he get lost?
He got paralyzed.
Mm.
He got paralyzed. He used the opal. He burned the opal statue to get it removed, and then got paralyzed again.
Ah. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure what Sil's looking for here. I'm guessing, just hoping for a power ring. That's about the only thing I could think.
Power ring or refresh would be the two I'd be looking for at this point.
Well, that is neither of those. A double consumable. Well, that's a feels bad check.
I did not see. I did not see what the chest was. Just a lone chest. But looks like Nightdew is about to get his flight.
Still doing a little spider grinding here. Looks like they're going all the way to 12. Nightdew, meanwhile, saying, "Flight, give it to me. Nope, I'm out. Let's go." They gotta be feeling, he's gotta be feeling pretty bad about having not come here a lot soon.
I can't disagree with the plays he made, though. Because he did... the swamp is a relatively quick one for 4 checks. And Saber South did get him teleport.
Right. However, when he, like I said, when you go into Goa and you have, a warrior ring and plenty of, ability to crush things, it's never a bad play to make. So I can't disagree with you that I'm not saying he made bad plays. I'm just saying he's feeling like he could have done that a long time. Still, meanwhile, having no problem here in the crypt. Looks like they aren't going to bother checking either of the chests here. Just going to go straight for Dragon. I agree with that. I don't think you need anything else at this point. They're leveled, much higher than they need to be. They're armed to the teeth. Just finish it out. Let's go. Take the...
I think Nightdew is also going to go all the way to 12 here.
Yep, there it is. Granted, he's got a little higher scaling, which means Dragon's going to have a little higher defense. It's not the worst decision.
However, because of that higher scaling, he was also getting more experience per kill, so that ends up being a decent trade.
Right. Yeah, this is going to come down to the wire here.
Yeah, it's going to come down to Dragon Pat. Wow, I'm just noticing Sil has exactly 1 accessory. It's a really good one to have.
Right? Immediately charging to level 3 here. Definitely going to want to use that level 3 shot. It's going to do the most damage Sil can possibly do.
Looks like Sil did take 1 bop there, which is actually good because I think that puts them on the correct correct player position to get short lasers. But we're going to get long lasers instead, which is even better.
Oh no! Taking a massive lasers to the face. Sil goes down. We're going to have another run here at Dragon 2, and they're going to be entering the boss fight about, let's see here. Six seconds apart. Wow. This could be a major comeback for Nightdew.
Nightdew smartly taking the ping off the wings at the start to manipulate short lasers. Looks like he's just going to warrior ring it down, though, instead of using flame brace.
Well, not the worst choice. especially because he keeps getting short. Oh, he takes down Dragon first. Taking the lead is Nightdew. This is... We're going to go ahead and switch the audio over here to Nightdew as he's getting into the tower. We got the hype music.
Also taking down Dragon. So this is a race.
Yeah, absolutely. This this is a beautiful race right here.
Looks like Nightdew's going to opt for Warrior Ring strats, and I think Scylla's going to go for Flame Bracelet strats.
Well, this is going to... oh... Nightdew, I'm not sure if he's going to hurt or if he's actually going to go for using this. Now, we've seen this before. This play doesn't always pan out, especially when you're fighting up against somebody who's got a level 3 bracelet going on here. But, you know, I'm noticing these white robots are going down really, really fast for Nightdew, so it may not be the worst thing. I mean, he pushed him over from basically one door to the other, and the pack was gone.
Yeah, he clears the first floor first. That Flame Bracelet is making very short work of everything, though. Oh, gotta watch that, though, so when you put the Flame Bracelet down, you gotta watch where they're gonna be bouncing around.
Yeah, the helicopters may affect this a lot, because Nightdew is using Warrior Ring strats, especially with something like the Sword of Fire or the Sword of Water. You don't have that spread shot like you do with Thunder. And so, you know, when you're trying to push around those brown robots, those helicopters can be real turd.
Still looking like they're going to switch to some Warrior Ring strats a little bit here, too. Takes down the first door with ease, though.
Man, the second door just blasts it. Absolutely. No question. A perfect Flame Bracelet. Ooh, taking the lead! Look at this! What is this race?
God.
Oh, well, actually, Nightdew got onto the third floor first because Syl opted to use a couple of medical herbs. Not a bad play. Don't want to die. This is...
this is ridiculous.
This is amazing. All right, I'm going to have to watch the SRL channel here to find out who it is going to finish. Because... they're a little bit ahead of us. This is crazy what's going on right now. I am so, like, stoked watching the end of this run. Syl clearing the third floor like a second and a half before Nightdew. This is it.
This is a race.
Oh my god.
This is going to come down to what they do on Dyna. Syl's going to need to burn a few fruits of power if they want to get enough magic to use barrier for this.
Well, Syl goes to heal. Nightdew, meanwhile, just running straight for it. This is Nightdew's race to lose at this point. Wow. Here it is.
Nightdew gets the position.
What a run.
Syl is going to opt to take out the turrets.
Yep. Nightdew, meanwhile, waiting for that eye to open, hoping... There it is! Boom! We got a kill over on Nightdew's side. Nightdew is going to finish in first place with an official SRL time of 54 minutes and 5 seconds. And Syl is going to be right behind him with a time of 54 minutes and 24 seconds. What an absolute finish that was. I can't even with these two. That was an incredible end. Let's see if we can get the both of them in here to talk about this race, because wow!
That was ridiculous.
That is the most hyped finish.
That is the most hyped finish after what we thought was going to be Syl just walking off with this.
Right?
After we also initially thought that Nightdew was going to walk off with it because of that early shell flute find. It
flipped back and forth a few different times. I can't in stress enough how amazing the both of them played to flip this one back and forth like they did, to be able to come up with a finish that was that close. Sylverfyre joining us in the booth here. GG, what a end of that race.
Dying to Drake on 2 with your barrier up from like 3 consecutive laser hits feels bad.
Yeah, well,
It happens, unfortunately.
It unfortunately, like, I know why it happens. That doesn't make me happy about it.
I'm going to be completely honest with you here. You actually got into the room with Crystalis first.
I heard Nightdew went for the no side things kill, and like I don't know the positioning for that.
Well, actually, the real difference maker was the fact that you went into the menu and healed yourself up and got yourself mana back, so you burned a couple of consumables, whereas once he got into the Crystalis room right behind you, he just went straight for it, and boom, off he went. That was the end. I was
real low health, and I had 14 MP left. So
yeah, no, I'm not blaming you for the decision you made. I should have just menued that
faster.
Right, yeah, I'm not saying you made the wrong play. I'm saying that was really what separated the two of you there at the end, was the extra menus that had to happen as a result of, you know, the flame bracelet knocking a bunch of white robots into you in the tower there at the end. And
yeah, I had real, like, I was having, like, my flame bracelet was, like, just not really working the way I wanted it to. It was like, here I'm just gonna, like, push this one around and not kill it, or, like, push this one away and not kill it.
At one point, you knocked them somehow directly into the center of the flame bracelet. It just spiraled.
Yeah, I didn't even know that could happen.
Surprise!
Yeah, the flame bracelet is a little weird to work with sometimes because of the knockback, and because it can easily push something off screen. It's really tricky to work with those white robots, just to not get them to both hit you and to keep them on screen so they take full damage. So
GG Nightdew.
Thank you very much. Wow.
Nightdew,
yeah,
yes.
wow.
Taking the victory there. What an end to the race. Pulling that one out. So let's since you're both in here now, let's do a little bit of a recap here. So early on in this race, Syl decided to make a play in the fog lamp cave of grabbing the first 3 chests and then boning out. Whereas Nightdew decided to go all the way to the back and ended up picking up the shell flute that was the required item in order to make any kind of progress at that point.
That was the worst.
I knew that. I knew that would burn me.
That was the worst fog lamp cave ever, by the way.
Yeah. So that fog lamp cave was it was pretty fantastic. But okay, so then after getting that shell flute, Nightdew makes the play for Evil Spirit Island early, which rewarded him with that Sword of Thunder and the Bow of Moon. And I was screaming over here because I was like, "Oh my God, he's in go mode!" And it was like, "Wait, no, he doesn't have flight." Okay,
yeah, that flight.
There yet. So then he opted to just basically ignore everything on the eastern side and just completely took off. And you, Syl, then finally made your play. You did all the stuff on Cordell Plains and everything you could with the Sword of Fire. Realized that didn't get me anything. Went back and got your shell flute, and then you made your Evil Spirit Island play. Now, at this time, Nightdew is now going around and doing everything in Cordell Plains. By the time he was done with, so by the time he was done with all that, now you guys are basically back to neck and neck again. And
I think I did get like the Ball of Thunder out of all that nonsense that I was doing in Cordell.
That and Paralysis, which you made really good use of in that fog lamp cave.
Yeah.
And so then you both made the plays on Hydra, and you both made plays, over on that side of the map. And then Syl opts to go into Goa first. And Nightdew decided to go and make the first check in Oasis Cave, which rewarded him with that gas mask that he needed to go and make all the oak checks. Meanwhile, while he's making oak checks, Syl's clearing out Goa Fortress, finding the flight spell there, and we're sitting here thinking, that's it. that's gonna be it. Syl's gonna run away with this one, and then Nightdew ends up coming right up behind, makes his way in there, gets the flight spell, and then at the point at which you took the death to Dragon 2, Nightdew came in about 6 seconds behind, and the race was on. And then neck and neck tower the whole way through. The actual kill on Dragon was first on Nightdew's side, so he got into the tower about 12 seconds faster, and then ended up getting into the Crystalis room a second and a half slower. Right there at the end. Oh yeah, that is a good thing to mention. I mentioned to myself, I have to ask this. What made you decide to want to go into the pyramid there on the front end once you were in full go with Syl?
Wait, don't you have to do Dragon 1?
No.
Oh.
Negative.
I've never had a seed where I haven't had a seed that I didn't have to do Dragon 1 or I didn't end up doing Dragon 1 at some point, just because flight is the last item has never happened to me, especially because I'm always playing story mode, so I guess too much story mode has rotted my brain.
Out of curiosity, was that where you found the flame bracelet?
No. Flame bracelet was one of the 3 items in Sabera's 2 area, so I got it right before getting flight, because I went right before I went left, which is incorrect. Should have gone left first, because just the routing that way works much better.
Yeah.
And flight was that way.
I will say though that flame bracelet paid off.
Oh, it was real. It was real good. I'd much rather go in the tower with a flame bracelet than a blizzard bracelet.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you.
I would have just been warrior ringing it if I was on blizzard bracelet.
Something else that we need to mention to both you guys: when you're going to unlock Evil Spirit Island, despite the fact that it tells you should go to Joel and talk to the Elder, the actual trigger to remove the barrier in front of Evil Spirit Island is activating the Joel warp point. So all you have to do is Joel and just turn right around and head back out. There is nothing necessary to do in Joel. So both of you did the same thing and ran straight up to the Elder and was like, "Hey, how's it going? I don't know why I'm here, but I'm here."
Lack of thorough game knowledge, I guess.
Yeah. So as Dragon Dark mentioned during the
this will be a good one to watch back.
Yes.
There was in the GBC version, you do have to talk to the Elder. But like I mentioned, we're glad it's not that version, because that version sucks.
As far as I understand, that version is if you take the portion of the pixels on this screen and fit it and put what fits onto the GBC screen, and then you just yeah, that's good. We're just gonna put that, so you have nothing on this, you have barely anything fitting on the screen. That's what I understand the GBC version to be.
That's about right.
Yeah. So just hold up your Game Boy right over the screen here, over the corner, and go, "Yep, that's my viewing area," because you're about right. That's about what it is. Oh, and on top of it, the colors on it they're okay. They're not amazing. It is a Game Boy Color game.
This would have been a real good Game Boy Advance or DS game, DS port. Especially with R&L to switch swords.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, this is one of those games that would have benefited tremendously by having a Super Nintendo controller just for a couple of extra buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I gotta say, you both put on a fantastic show tonight. It does not get any closer than this, and there's nothing more, that we can say other than, great job. That was a fantastic raid.
And here I am thinking, I'm thinking I'm almost ahead when I find flight, only to hear that I was super behind when I found it.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, apparently I just went and killed Dragon 1 for no reason, and oops.
We actually thought you might have been looking for either the refresh spell or
Power ring. The
or
power
what?
ring.
Oh yeah, power ring.
I'm pretty comfortable with Flame Bracelet Warrior Ring. That's a real good lineup to go into into tower. Like I did not need items. I just didn't know, and I've played too much story mode.
Yeah, I thought about using the tornado bracelet through the oak checks, but even then,
I didn't actually have level 3 wind.
Let's think. Where was
tornado was the oak checks because that's why I went over to Saber West.
Okay.
I'm like, hey, let's go talk to Tornell now.
So like
Right.
the I thought that it didn't. So like the item when you went into Windmill Cave, like Zib was like, "Here's a tornado bracelet," and like obviously you only get ball of wind out of that. I thought that was good enough to talk to Tornell.
Okay. So here's the thing.
Is that a change or is that
No. So this is the way that
level
this
3
works.
period?
Okay, so the items now, the balls and bracelets are truly progressive, but the problem is that the internal memory for the game still has to reference a particular item.
Oh.
So regardless of whether you find the ball or bracelet, you're going to get whichever one you're requiring. So it does actually always require you to have the bracelet in your inventory for that particular. I didn't realize that because it used to be that like it's like I don't know if this is the tornado bracelet or not. Let's go find out. Yeah, it's not until you actually are seeing the bracelet in your inventory. He will never take it. That was something that was early on. There was a hangover where when you found the tornado bracelet item, then that was what gave it to you. But once it became truly progressive, then it was actually needing the bracelet in your inventory.
Yeah, so that's a nice enhancement that I didn't realize had been added to the randomizer. It's really, there's a lot of good development on this, and it's really wonderful to see all the new features and stuff.
You opting to do Saber South early, though, even though you couldn't talk to Tornell, did net you both the Flame Bracelet and Teleport, which were very good. You had those much earlier than...
Oh yeah, that teleport was real. That was a real good find. And there weren't a lot of other places I could go, except for had I finished Foglamp Cave all the way.
Indeed.
I mean, Saber North was kind of like, it's one of those things where you just hoped it wasn't, but I mean, that was like... That spot right there where Sword of Thunder was is like in my top 10 like worst places to find Sword of Thunder because I'm just like I want to go back, but
oh no, I don't want to go back there ever.
That's a long walk, even for what 3-4 checks still left in there. I'm like,
we were really hoping that Flight was back on that Evil Spirit Island.
Oh yeah.
You're both saying neither one of them is going back.
Oh, I would never have gone back there for like the entire scene. I'm like, oh, I don't have to finish Evil Spirit Island. Good. I don't want to finish Evil Spirit Island.
Well, you also didn't think you had to finish Foglamp Cave either, but we know what happened there.
Well, yeah.
They made the same play I would have made.
This is true.
That's a lot of walking, and I don't want to walk that far.
Yeah, you're right, Steve. If only there was a warp point in Zombie Town. I'm not sure what version that's on.
I mean, alternatively...
If only there was a warp point like at the third chest in Foglamp Cave.
No, in Zombie Town.
That's the warp point I want right now.
Alternatively, there was the idea when you found that Sword of Thunder, you could have reset out of it and gone, and it would have just taken you back to Zombie Town since that's a checkpoint. You could have checked the rest of the chests, then gone up and gotten the Sword of Thunder to clear it all out in one go. But obviously, that's running on the assumption that I want to still be there, and I did not want to still be there.
That's also running on the assumption that we would think about that.
No, I'm aware that that's the thing you can do if you find Sword of Thunder in a terrible place and you've checkpointed recently. I was real happy to find that Sword of Thunder. I was real happy to get the heck out of Siberia's Fortress and to somewhere with like more stuff and not boss fights that are not very fast.
Yeah, once in a while the G-Brain play, is worth it. We know in this case, it basically would not have been worth it.
No. She would have basically been having to hold either Flight or Sword of Truth, which Bow of Truth. Wait, we already had Bow of Truth at that point, didn't we?
You had Sun and Truth 3 minutes into the run.
Okay, it was Moon we were missing.
Yes. Moon was on Zebu in Chiron.
Athena was training to be an archer, and she's just hoarding all of the bows.
Right?
Yep.
And then Zebo was like, well, when she gets here, I'll give her this one. Oh, you got here first. Oh, okay.
However, I'll tell you this. I've used that bow in her other game. She can take those bows and get out of here. She sucks with a bow and a theme.
Let's not talk about that game.
Hey, I mean, that's really what her namesake
I don't even know
is
what
for
game
this
you're talking about.
Well, don't, because it's not good.
Let's put it this way. I think it's bad.
He's very correct.
Look,
When he thinks it's bad, you know
Tina
it's
Hacks
bad.
forced me to play Deadly Towers once, and
I'm
for
sorry.
some reason you speedrun that game.
I don't think Deadly Towers is that bad. The game we're talking about really is that bad.
Yeah, no.
No, what I'm saying is, when you think a game is bad, I don't want to know.
Yup.
Allow me to send you a Kung Fu ROM.
Don't take it.
No, Steve. Out.
Look,
Out.
look, I am into watching other people play bad games much more than I am into playing them myself.
Steve just had the worst idea I've ever seen in my life. Out.
You'd have to repeat that for me, because I don't have SpeedGaming.
He said Crystalis Athena combo randomizer.
Ah.
You don't want to play it. Trust us.
Demarine
Trust
is
us on
screaming
this.
no in chat. She knows that if Syl plays it, she'll have to play it.
Yeah, that is the proper response. No! No, don't fix Athena. There's nothing to fix there.
Stop
Except-
giving him ideas.
Really,
Too
stop.
late.
No. I will send Mato to your house. Just don't.
Anyway, good
Well,
race.
Good race. Thanks for the, wonderful entertainment. Hopefully, when you guys go back and watch this, you'll get to see just what a wild ride this was. And this was absolutely a, just a roller coaster.
Yeah, absolutely, and I don't know what to say besides viewing that back, and anything that finishes that close is, I'm still not sure what to say.
Yeah, it's one for the record books. Well, if nobody has anything else, all right.
I'm just quickly checking SpeedGaming 4's schedule to see what's going to be coming up here soon. Looks like if you stick around on this channel, you will have a Link to the Past Randomizer tournament match at 11:20. So about half an hour from now.
Definitely. All right. Well, on behalf of our runners tonight and on my co-commentator Dragon Dark, thanks for coming and enjoying this amazing race with the rest of us. And we will see you guys again on tomorrow, actually. I don't know what channel it's on yet, but tomorrow there is a race between Dragon Dark here and another one of our runners, PMA KFOW. So keep an eye out for that tomorrow. That is at is it 8:30 Eastern?
8:30 p.m. Yep.
All right. Well, thanks again, everybody, and thanks again, Speed Gaming, for hosting our tournament. And we'll catch all you guys on the next episode.